Welcome back to Chicago White Sox Draft Only Franchise. We have reached MLB Futures Game Day and Draft Day. We're going to do the Futures Game first. As I said before, we're going to cut this a little short, not show every single at-bat. We're just going to highlight our players. We have Kevin McCann, Alan Gage, Brian Gagnon, and Anthony Casto in the game today. And you can see McCann is on the mound for the American League just like last year, and he is having a rough year on the mound down in AAA. He's been passed by his brother who's up in the major leagues, Ricky McCann. So hopefully Kevin can get things turned around and get that turnaround starting today. And leading off for the National League, center fielder Marcellus Lowe. And he's going to hit a line drive over the shortstop's head into left field. So the National League gets their leadoff man on here in the first inning. Now bring up first baseman Mitch Erdman. And he's going to take a pitch low, throw down, and he's going to be in low. Steals second base. So now the National League, the man in scoring position here. Erdman back up. We've seen him in several of these Futures games. And he's going to hit this ball over the first baseman's head into right field. Right field is going to get that ball back in, but the National League is going to get on the board first here. Erdman with an RBI single makes it 1-0, and that'll bring in left fielder James Tibbs. We've seen him a lot in this game as well. He's going to hit a fly ball in deep left center field. Saucedo drifts back, catches it on the edge of the warning track, and throws that back in for the first out. And that'll bring up the DH, Louis Rulli. We passed on him in one of the other drafts. He's going to hit a base hit up the middle, and now the National League, the third hit of the inning, as McCann is struggling early. Throw comes in, and he's into third base. Better throw, might have had him. Real trouble here. Man at the corners and only one out. Robert Miller swings and misses and strikes out on a low fastball. That was a clutch K by McCann. Keeps that runner at third. That'll bring up third baseman Mark Pryor. Different Mark Pryor. And he's going to swing and miss on a high fastball. So McCann gives up 3 hits, but recovers with 2 Ks to keep this game 1-0 National League. And on the mound for the National League, Mark Lucy. Don't know much about him other than he's 7-3 with a 3.08 ERA. See how he does today. Leading off for the American League is Chicago White Sox newest prospect we acquired in a trade, Alan Gage, playing first base. He's going to hit a fly ball into left field. Tibbs is drifting back. He's going to have that, and that's the first out. We would score a run, American League, in the bottom half on a sac fly by Tim Gerber. So we jump to the second inning. Ryan Reeves up, and he's going to hit a fly ball into left field. Drifting back is Reed, and got it at the edge of the warning track for the first out. Dudley Reed was a guy we thought about trading for when we got Gage. And the 2-2 pitch to shortstop DJ Barrett is a swing and a miss on a changeup, and he strikes him out. So third strikeout for McCann. Rough first inning. Seems to be settling down. That'll bring in catcher Rob Miter. And he's going to hit a line drive to third, and it's grabbed by Theodore Cho. Another guy we considered taking in the draft. Nice jumping catch. And after 2, it's 1-1. And in for the National League, Cam Caminiti. We've seen him multiple times. He's going to come in and pitch now here in the third inning. Still 1-1 game. Alan Gage up. Leading off. Strikes out on a changeup off the plate. So he's 0 for 2 so far. Not a good showing for him. Now we're going to hop ahead to the top of the 4th inning. Brian Gagnon. Another one of our pitching prospects on the mound. You can see what he's done down in Double-A. First batter he's going to face is Robert Miller, and he gets him to swing and miss for a strikeout. K's the first man he sees. That'll bring up third baseman Mark Pryor. And he's going to hit a ground ball to Cho. Easy scoop and a throw across the diamond, and there are 2 quick outs. Now I'll bring up second baseman Ryan Reeves. 1-2 pitch from Gagnon is over the first baseman's head, down into the corner. Digging around first, head into second. And it's going to be a 2-out double for Reeves. National League trailing 3-1 here. And DJ Barrett's going to draw a walk, so that's going to put the tying runs on base. Catcher Rob Miter stepping in now. 2 on, 2 out. 1-2 pitch from Gagnon, and it's going to be a ground ball to second base. Gerber's got it, throws to first, And the American League dodges a bullet there as they continue to lead 3-1 after 3.5. Now Garrett Horn's going to come in for the National League as we hop to the bottom of the 5th inning, still 3-1. American League, Gage leading off again. 1-2 pitch. And he's going to swing and miss on a slider this time, so he's 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. It's not what we were hoping out of him. Now we're going to hop ahead to the 7th inning, Gage up. Nobody on, 2 out. See, he's 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. On the mound, Hendricks Flutie. And it's going to be a ground ball to short. Barrett's going to scoop that, throw across, and Gage is going to be 0 for 4. As we head to the 8th inning, American League still leads 3-1. And we jump to the bottom of the 8th inning. Jeff Crowell comes in to pitch for the National League. Junior Wood is due up, but we're going to have Anthony Casto, our A potential catching prospect, is going to pinch hit for him. 1-2 pitch from Crowell. And Casto hits this to left field. The fielder digging back to the corner. Oh, up against the wall, and he's got it. What a catch. Tommy Troy, who came in after he pinch hit for Tibbs, runs that down. And the American League hangs on to win the game 3-1 as Raul Hernandez gets the win. Caminiti takes the loss. Dan Lyon with the save. American League Futures prospects with the win. Let's take a look at this box score. See 2 hits for Marcellus Lowe and a steal. 2 hits for Louis Rulli. 2 runs given up by Caminiti was the difference in this game. Hop to the other side. Junior Wood, 2 for 3. Theodore Cho had 2 hits, including an RBI double. Kevin McCann gives up 3 hits in the first inning, settles down, finishes with 3 Ks in 2 innings. Gagnon pitched shutout 1 inning in his appearance, and the American League hangs on and wins this Futures game 3-1. It is draft day 2028. This will be our 5th draft in the series. And while we've drafted a lot of players and are all up in the majors or very close to getting to the majors, we haven't really found any generational players in any of these drafts. It's really surprising that not one of these drafts has had a generational, and this year is no different. So let's hop in here and I will show you my draft prospects and how I want them ordered. And we will go and start the draft right after that. Okay, before we get into all of the pitchers, I want to just go through the hitters because we have a decent size but rather small, when you look at it, list compared to pitchers. Our Discovery Scout found a few hitters that would be interesting to take in the draft. I think there's like 3 or 4. And we also found a ton of pitchers, so there's going to be a lot of guys on the list. I don't think we're going to run out of guys in this draft. This is by far the best hitter that I've seen so far. Guaranteed to be a B potential, maybe even an A, probably in the 60s as well. Switch hitting catcher, great power. Contact bat is going to be He's got really good defense, so he could actually move and play some outfield or first base, probably outfield with that arm. We also have Donnie Ramirez, this non-rated discovered player, ranked 10th right now. We only have him at 60% scouted. Another guy that could be in the Bs, in the 60s, left-handed throwing first baseman. He's got much better contact, could have decent power as well. He's just not going to have the greatest defense, so that's fine. Can play him at first base if we get him. Rodriguez, guaranteed B potential, in the 70s overall. Another left-handed bat infield. Don't like that he's so close on his splits, so he's probably going to be closer to the lower end of that potential and overall range than the higher end. Great bat, great vision, great speed. We've already got so many infielders. He's just not going to be someone I really consider, but I'll put him on the list. There's another non-rated player, long-term prospect with those ratings, no ability to be an A potential, so I just put him on there because our scout found him. Third baseman, Andres Medina is overrated. I'd be worried about him coming in on the lower end as well. Great power against lefties, though. Good power overall. Kind of looks like the catcher, except his splits are not as tight, and his draft rank for us is much lower than the catcher. Did find a shortstop who's overrated. Left fielder Schaefer is a possibility. He's probably going to be a B Defense isn't great. We found this non-rated left fielder, Benji Quinn, hoping he comes in on the higher end and not the lower end. Good bat skills, good speed though. Center fielder, another one, Young Woo Ryu, guaranteed to be a B potential in the 50s more than likely, although he's 21 years old, so that kind of limits him on his upside. And then on the pitcher side, Signs is listed as number 3 on our list, but he's injured, so I don't think he's going to come in on the higher end, and he could be really hurt, maybe even be a C potential instead. So not really interested, and I have him way down the list. This non-rated, 4th overall for us. Great walks per 9. It's just his hits and strikeouts are low. It's going to take some time for him to develop. We have time, so it's not a big deal. Nigel Buchanan, another one. Great strikeouts. Everything, his walks are terribly low, but he'll take some time to develop. Calvert, his hits per 9 is terrible, so he would be one of those cases where, yeah, we're guaranteed a B in the 60s, and he's just going to take a while to probably not see the roster at all until much later in his, like 26 or 27. Perigo, it's just those hits per 9. If those hits per 9 were in the 40s, I would consider him, although he's a left-handed pitcher. We have plenty of those. Brooks is another one. Strikeouts, home runs, pitch control a little bit low. I'm worried about his stamina. I think he's more of a relief pitcher, and don't want to take a player 4th overall that's going to be a relief pitcher unless he's an absolute stud closer. Cedeno, I would be interested in him. I just don't know where he's going to fall. At 11, he might be gone before we get to pick 31, and I'd rather take a closer at that point. Here's another one. DaCosta, he's going to take some time. Hopefully his stamina comes in over 70, which would keep him as a starting pitcher. His per 9s are all low, so he's going to have to take some time to develop. So we have a lot of pitching prospects, a lot of non-rated guys, so we have options later in the draft. Right now I have the catcher 1. I have the 2 closers. This guy, Miguel Rodriguez, listed over Jason Samuels, but I would take Samuels if Rodriguez goes. And then we've got a bunch of starting pitchers. Donnie Ramirez, I'm hoping we can get him with one of our 2 picks in the 2nd round. Schaefer may go before we get to pick 31. So, we got a lot of pitching options. We do have several bats that we could take, non-rated players, always fun to have. So we'll see if Farrell will last. Otherwise, we'll jump in and get one of these starting pitchers with the 4th overall pick and see how it goes. But Farrell is going to have to get better on his contact, but I like him so far. And I've got him 100% scouted, 62% interest, so he shouldn't take very long to sign if we can get him signed. So let's hop into this draft and see if we get the catcher or if we get one of these other starting pitchers first and try and get one of these closers at pick 31. All right, Toronto Blue Jays are on the board first, then the Rockies, then the Giants, and then us. So let's get this draft started and see who makes it through to our pick. With the first pick, the Rockies take Joe Brooks, starting pitcher. Okay, he was a possibility, although he's a lefty. That's a strike against him. We have so many lefties, so good for them. Hopefully he's a good pitcher for him. Pick number 2 to the Rockies, Zach Feldhaus. Overrated starting pitcher. I mean, if he comes in on a higher end, that's great, but that's a big gap. So maybe he's one of those A potentials that's in the 50s or low 60s. So hopefully he turns out for them. And pick 3. Do we get the catcher? Yes, they go with Raleigh Perigo. Looks like he's going to be at least a B potential in the 60s. Not bad. Another left-handed pitcher that we don't need. So we lucked out. And we have everybody on our big board left. And I'm going to not mess around. Don't need the pitching as much since we have so many guys not rated on the list we can pick from. I'm going to take the best bat we can find in the draft right now. Hopefully his contact will develop. And we can get him a secondary position of first base and outfield. So with our first pick, Brian Farrell, welcome to the White Sox. Cardinals take the left fielder, Brian Schaefer. Good pick. Especially if he comes in on the higher end. His defense is going to be a problem, but not a bad player. Medina, the third baseman, goes to Anaheim. Great power, especially against lefties. The Mets take the second baseman, guaranteed B in the 70s. And Ray Saenz goes to the Cleveland Guardians to see how much that injury affects his overall. He low hits per nine was concerning. Everything else looked great. See how much that injury affects him. Then Brian Cedeno goes. Guaranteed B potential in the 60s. Just low walks per nine, which doesn't help in the sim. All right, made it to the PPI round, which we got for getting Rookie of the Year. And both closers made it through. As you saw, he's got walks and walks per nine pitch control issues. Rodriguez is pretty balanced across the board, plus he's right-handed. So between these two, I would rather have Miguel Rodriguez. So with pick number 31, welcome to the team, Miguel Rodriguez. There goes one of the relief pitchers, Corey Rudy. We had him on the list. Walks per nine was his problem. And Jason Samuels, the left-handed closer, goes to Kansas City. So we won't get both of them. That's fine. Two more picks. It'll be up to us. Jose Segura, starting pitcher we had scouted, goes. All right, one more pick. And another injured pitcher we didn't even bother scouting. So we're going to have our choice of guys here. So we have Sammy Rodriguez. He's got really good walks per nine. Kind of worried about that stamina. Strikeouts and hits are going to be low. Nigel Buchanan, great strikeouts. Everything else on his per nines are low. He would take a while to progress up. Calvert, another one with very low hits per nine. Donnie Ramirez, first base. He's not rated, so they haven't taken him by now. I would expect him to be there later. DaCosta, another one with very low per nines. These two are both not rated. I think it's one of these pitchers up here. Sammy, great walks per nine. Great strikeouts per nine. Sammy or him. He's got four pitches. Fastball, changeup, cutter, slider. Fastball, sinker, slider, change are about the same. 2.1, 269. Let's take Nigel Buchanan right now, and maybe Sammy slides through. All right, two more picks. We're going through all of these players. All of these guys are not rated. Rosales is rated, but Camacho, Ryu, Quinn, all these guys are not rated. These are discovery players. So we should be able to take our pick and maybe some of them slide through later. Yep, nobody went. So we have two more pitchers. We have this hitter. He was 10th, if I'm not mistaken. So I think we got a pitcher. We got a catcher. We got a closer. We got a starting pitcher. I'm going to take Donnie Ramirez, the first baseman, even though we only had him at 60% scouted. I'm going to take him now and come back and try and get one of these pitchers the next time. I don't want to lose out on a good hitter that we found. We finally found one. So let's take Donnie Ramirez. Hopefully he comes in on the higher end. All right. All of our non-rated players here on this board are still around. So we're going to have our choice depending on who the Giants take. I'm probably looking at one of these two hitters next. And they took him. So do we take the left fielder who has really good bat skills, not a lot of power, great speed and stealing, but his defense is sus? Or do we take the center fielder who's slightly older, his bat skills are a little bit less, great speed and stealing, but his defense is a little bit better? So we got a 21-year-old that's guaranteed to be 81 to 91. We got an 18-year-old that's guaranteed to be 73 to 88. That's 18. Looks like Ryu would probably be the higher potential, but Quinn would be the higher overall. Got to make a choice here. Let's see, we got plenty left. Let's take Ryu because we've got plenty of left field prospects. We're going to take Youngwoo Ryu. All right, everybody slid through. So we could take the other outfielder, or we can go with a pitcher. And I'm leaning towards a pitcher at the moment. And I think Sammy is at the top because his hits per 9 are better. Walks per 9 is really good. His hits per 9 is not great. He's even across the board. Yeah, we're going to go with the pitcher, Sammy Rodriguez. Not bad when you get your 4th rated player at pick 109. And everybody is still left on the board. So we have 2 picks left. We could take the other outfielder, or we could take 2 more pitchers. Let me see. I like DaCosta better just because he's more even. So, well, he's got great stamina. Let's go ahead and take the other hitter, and then we'll take whatever pitcher's left over. Yeah, let's take Benji Quinn right now. And everybody is still left. So, last pick, we got 4 guys on the board. Flores, he's not too bad, actually. 4 pitches. Camacho, no. DaCosta. Let's go Eddie DaCosta. And that should be it for our draft. And we'll see what some of these injured guys look like on these other teams. And we're made it to the All-Star game. And this is the first day we can sign draft picks. This is probably the earliest I've ever seen the game allow us to try to start signing our draft picks. And that's probably because the All-Star game is about a week later in the month than normal, so they want to get us going and get them signed. So let's hop in here and see. Put all of our highest rated guys at the top. Here's our number 1 pick. And we're going to offer him 5.9. And he takes. So we got our number 1 pick signed. The number 2 pick. He signs. Our number 3 pick. Doesn't sign. All right, Ryu signs. Buchanan signs. Quinn signs. 2 guys haven't, and Donnie is not at 50%. So try that one more period later. And quickly, while we're looking at the All-Star game here, Garrett Lewis made the All-Star team as the number 1 closer. Way to go, Garrett Lewis. All right, try to sign these guys one more time. Sammy Rodriguez. Doesn't want $700K, okay. DaCosta takes $500,000. And Ramirez isn't ready yet. All right, let's try it one more time. Sammy. We'll just give you what you're asking for. And he takes it. Okay. He cost himself $250,000. And Donnie, we're going to kick you up over $1 million, and everybody is signed. There we go. So everybody is signed, and we'll advance through here, get to the date where we can look at our prospects and everybody else's real ratings and see how we did. And hopefully the White Sox can get on a roll here after the All-Star break. And check out this game on the 23rd of July against Pittsburgh. We lost game 1 of the series, but we win 3-0 in game 2. Dexter Watley, Jack Caglione, Roman Anthony all hit solo homers. Those were our 3 runs right there. Watley adds a steal, and Davy Garcia, 8 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 walk, 14 strikeouts, and Garrett Lewis notches his 29th save. What a game for the Sox pitchers, my goodness. And we have another big series with the Kansas City Royals coming up on the road. You can see Guardians are back in first place. Royals are on a little bit of a skid, and the Twins and Royals are half game behind Cleveland. We're a game and a half back. So we're going to hop into this game right here and player lock on Jack Caglione. He's been struggling. He's hitting in the 230s now. So let's see if we can get him jump started by watching him bat. Daniel Lynch is on the mound today for Kansas City. You can see 7-8 with a 2.98 ERA and a 1.14 whip. Great year for him so far. Hopefully Jack can get things going, though, for the Sox. And we pick up Jack here with men at second and third and 1 out. We had a single by Watley and a double by Montgomery. Puts us in this spot. You can see his average down to 237. He's cooled off on the home runs and RBIs as well. Really got to get him going right now. And a 1-0 pitch from Lynch. It's a fly ball into center field. Drifting back to the track. And he's got it, and that'll score a run. And Montgomery should move up to third base as the throw comes in way late. And the Sox take a 1-0 lead. There we go. Productive out. Way to go, Jack. And Jack's back up here in the third. First two guys made outs, so nobody on, 2 out. And he's going to hit a foul ball that's going to go out of play. And Jack's got the count at 1-2 now here. Pitch from Lynch, and it's going to be a ground ball to third. Easy scoop and throw, and that's the third out of the inning. So we go to the bottom of the third. It's still 1-0 Chicago. All right, the Royals tied it in the fourth, and now Jack's up here in the sixth after a Colson-Montgomery leadoff double puts him in scoring position. Takes the first pitch inside for ball 1. And Jack works the count to 2-2 here with a man on second, nobody out in the sixth. Lynch's pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. Blew it by him with a high pitch, and that's his 6th K of the game. And the Royals blow it open here in the bottom of the sixth. Labor Torres single, Bobby Witt triple. Berger drives him in with a single, and Felix Fermin 2-run shot. It's 4 runs in the bottom of the sixth. And Kansas City added 2 more in the eighth to make it 7-1. Jack steps in here to lead off the ninth, down 6. 1-1 tie early. Royals offense breaking it open here late. And the 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed. Nasty sinker. And here's a fly ball into left field, drifting back towards the corner on the run, and he's got it, Melendez. That'll be the first out of the ninth. And the Royals would win the first game of this big 3-game series. 6 runs late as Lynch gets the win. McCann takes the loss. MacArthur gets the save. Let's check out this box score. 2 hits for Colson Montgomery, 2 for Maddox, 2 steals by Maddox, 3 doubles in the game. McCann pitched great until the 6th inning, and it all blew up on him. You see they had 13 hits. Harvey Thompson, the only one without a hit. Daniel Lynch pitched great, and MacArthur 3 no-hit innings to get the save. Kansas City wins Game 1, 7-1. And the Sox would drop Game 2 at Kansas City, 6-2. Look at this box score. We only had 4 hits in the game. Did have 4 walks, double by Anthony. Garcia pitched well, but Schnell has gotten lit up so far in his brief time here in the majors. 3 hits for Berger, 3 for Garcia. Home runs by Garcia and Rocafort. Cole Reagans, no earned runs in 5 2/3 with 9 Ks. And then Game 3, we lose 3-2. So we go to Kansas City and get swept. Not a good series at all. 3 hits for Canones, 2 for Watley, 2 for Maddox. Cavalli pitched well, 10 Ks like that. Kolek gives up 2 runs, and that was the difference in the game. Berger, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, including a home run. Kyle Wright pitched well. Bullpen pitched excellent for them. And that loss drops us 4 games back now as the Royals jump over the Guardians and the Twins. 3 teams separated by a half game, and we are 4 back. Standings-wise, we are now a full game behind the Angels and Yankees for the 3rd playoff spot. So a lot of teams here fighting it out, and even the Red Sox really aren't out of the race at this point. They're on a 3-game win streak, so we're still in battle. We got a lot of work to do. And we have contract extension time, and I'm going to go ahead and give Montgomery some money here. We have our payroll is only $13.8 million, so we're going to go ahead and pay him for 5 years. See if we can get this down just a tad. How far down will it take it? Let's go to 61 mil over 5 years, 12.2 per year, and see what he says. And he takes it. All right, so we just signed Colson Montgomery to a 5-year, $61.06 million contract. So we have our first big contract signed in the franchise. And I had to show you this. We swept Philadelphia. Patino gets the win in relief. Who was that? That was Hagen Smith. Didn't get through 5, threw a lot of pitches, 8 hits, 8 strikeouts. But Jack 3 for 5 with a triple and a home run. Rocha and Watley with home runs. Go to game 2. Colson Montgomery 2 hits, 2 RBI, including a home run. Medrano gets his 10th win, only allowing 1 run. Lewis his 33rd save. And then we put up 14 runs in game 3. We had 14 runs on 15 hits, 7 walks. 3 hits for Brito, 3 for Caglione, 3 for Montgomery, 2 for Anthony, 4 RBI for Caglione and Anthony, 3 for Montgomery. Brito and Montgomery with home runs. And Ricky McCann got lit up for 5 runs, but still got the win as we just hammered the Phillies 14-5 and sweep the series. And that puts us 2.5 games behind Cleveland as the Guardians, Twins, and Royals keep leapfrogging each other on a daily basis. And on the wildcard side, we jumped over the Angels and the Yankees, and now we are tied with New York, actually, for the 3rd spot. So that was a huge series. After getting swept by the Royals, we turn around and sweep the Phillies and get back into the wild card spot number 3 and closer to the division lead. And the Sox follow up that sweep of Philadelphia by taking 2 out of 3 against Cleveland. They lose game 1. Shea Langoliers with a big 2-run shot. Shane Bieber allows 1 hit. Clase comes in and gets the save. The 1 hit was a Jack Caglione solo homer in the 2nd inning. As Davy Garcia did not pitch poorly, bullpen pitched well, but it's kind of hard to win when you get 1 hit. Then in game 2, we win 3-0. Manzardo had 2 hits, Fraley and Kwan the other ones. Gavin Williams didn't pitch poorly at all, but Watley had 2 hits. Caro hit a home run. Cade Cavalli 7 shutout innings. 3 other relievers come in and close it out as Chicago evens up the series with a 3-0 shutout, and then they follow that up with an 11-0 shutout. Hagen Smith against Alek Manoah. See, we pounded every one of their pitchers. Watley 3 hits, Montgomery 3 walks and a home run. 3 runs scored, 2 RBI. Jack with a home run. Quinones' hit was a home run. Rocha hit a home run. Anthony hit a home run. Maddox hit a home run. That's right. We hit 6 home runs in that game. We hit 3 of them in the 1st inning alone. Hagen Smith, 7 2/3 shutout innings, evens his record at 9-9. And the Sox climbed to within 2 games of the lead as we knocked the Guardians out of 1st. And we are still tied with the Yankees for that number 3 wild card, but hey, made some headway against our own division teams right here after getting swept by the Royals. So we're going to go ahead and get this all the way through this Detroit series and call it an episode. And you can see we swept the Reds after that big Cleveland series, then took 2 out of 3 from Detroit. In this last game, Anthony Medrano, complete game, gives up 5 hits, no walks, 9 strikeouts, improves to 12-9 with a 2.30 ERA. And the Sox are now tied with Kansas City for 1st, with Minnesota and Cleveland 2 games back. Detroit's out there 14 games back. And on the wild card side, we are tied for the number 1 wild card. All these teams separated 2 games in the standings for the division and all those wild card spots. You can see Garrett Lewis leading for the reliever of the year in the American League right now. And it's got this little thing going on with Rookie of the Year. I don't know why Jack's on here because he already won the award last year. But Cade Povich is 16-1 for Baltimore. Looks like he's going to break our string of Rookie of the Year awards unless Dexter Watley absolutely goes nuts. Let's check out the stats real quick. Quinones leads the team in hits. Dexter Watley, 16 home runs. Colson Montgomery's up to 21. Jack's average is still low. He's sitting at 19. Art Rocha, 20 home runs. Alvin Maddox, 14 and 17. Roman Anthony's all the way up to 249 with 14 and 49. So it's, look at this. All that production it's pretty balanced production, which is good. So you don't have to rely on one guy. Looks like we might have a shot at having 2 guys with 20 steals. On the pitching side, Medrano, 160 innings pitched, only 22 walks. My goodness. Davy Garcia, under a 3 ERA. Hagen Smith at 331 with 167 Ks and 141 innings. And yeah, we are doing excellent on the starting side. You can see Garrett Lewis, whip under 1, 37 saves. Bullpen side, getting some of those ERAs down. And yeah, we cannot complain about that. When we come back with the next episode, we have a big 3-game series with Minnesota to start the next episode. And then we have another 3-game series in September against the Twins. And that's it. We're done with Kansas City. We're done with Cleveland. But we have 6 games left with Minnesota, depending on how everything goes, especially with the rest of the month of August. We may jump in and watch multiple games, player lock, like we did with the Cleveland and Minnesota episode previously. But we'll figure that out as we go. So hopefully you liked the episode. I enjoyed the draft a whole lot. I hope you did too. And make sure you hit like, subscribe, comment, share it out, hit that notification bell. And I'll catch you next time on the Chicago White Sox Draft Only Franchise.